What's up? So the story is that Macaulay Culkin was actually considered for the role of Jack in Titanic, which went to Leonardo DiCaprio. You talk about life's irony and how Hollywood is. Because from one big known child actor who was big and known household to another, and that's just how this career goes. And I remember Macaulay Culkin was hotter than Hades, and then Leonardo DiCaprio got on Growing Pains, and Kirk Cameron was actually the money kid at the time before Leonardo became it. So it's kind of funny how these things go. But is it really? Is this stuff almost like playing? But would have done if Macaulay Culkin had done a Titanic and would have been successful as it is? I don't think so. I think that after he did My Girl and the Home Alone movies, by the time he did Richie Rich, he was almost like old hat for some in the industry. Um, when you're a kid actor or kid talent, you don't get but so much long before you hit puberty, before your voice changes and your everything changes. Then people kind of go on to the next because you don't stay the same forever. It even happened to Gary Coleman. It's a very cold business, and trying to stay in that 12 to 15-year window and not lose your voice and not changes is hard, unless of course you're able to do like Ralph Macchio and play Karate Kid Part 88 until you're like 28, you know. But most of the time, they try to do that in Hollywood. They camouflage. They take 5, 10 years off your age, and they got ways of kind of keeping you thin and lean and you're the whole thing. Would it have made a difference for Macaulay Culkin though to have done a movie like Titanic? That would have been interesting because if he was serious about his acting career and he wanted to go to the next level, that would have been huge. He did wonders for DiCaprio. It made him a household name. Uh, they're still polarizing how good of an actor or how deep he is. But let's just say a role like that put him in uncharted territory where no one was gonna ever question if he was belong the big screen or not. Because movies like that solidify your grownness and takes you to a whole nother trajectory. So would it have done anything for Macaulay Culkin if it had been successful and he could have pulled it off? We will never know though. But it's interesting to hear that he was actually considerate and considering that just like DiCaprio being big as a teenager, that was interesting. That's very interesting because these things are because people forget about Copeland and one I want to say was Uncle Buck. He had been around, you know, and it's just a matter of being in the right place, right time, the right film, and then if you happen to have any kind of personality or any kind of charisma, people go, "Oh, you are it." So it makes for interesting debates and conversations. So that's where we are with that though. But yeah, it hits a certain way where you kind of definitely feel the aura of it. You definitely feel the vibe of it, and you can definitely say to yourself like, "Wow, that could have been something else had he gotten that opportunity." So, it's just one of those things that you kind of like take that in consideration of. But anyway, um, I think that Macaulay Culkin, all things considered, is quite remarkable with everything that's happened. And it's a tough, cold, crazy business. And, all the predatory and all the other stuff that goes on. So to still function and to still cope and everything he went on with his own personal family, because the stories out there about his parents, similar to Gary Coleman's situation and so on and so forth. So much respect to him. But yeah, it would have been interesting if he had of done Titanic. It would have been interesting. But let me know what you think. Would have been something and how careers may have been different had he had that opportunity. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm all one time. Peace.